How's it go? How's it going? Alaikum Shukma. Salam alaikum. Selah. Wado. Shishi. All that shit. Yeah, I got another banana to eat. I ate a banana. A couple of prunes I made from plums. I think they need another week. I did them in a vacuum container. But first I let them sit in the sun every day for at least 6 hours. And that's when the pruning started. And you don't have to have them in liquid. Everybody does them. There's different ways you could do it. You could do it even with salt. I'm not too big on salt because the salt, that crap is not no iodine in it, and nothing else. So yeah, I made like 12 just to, you know what I'm saying? You don't do it in a dehydrator because then it's this dehydrated plum. So it tasted good. It's a fermentation process. It's just like when you make preserves. And that's, did you know that after you're cooking everything and some people use Karo, some people use molasses, I like to use cane sugar. And you put it in your mason jar, you put it in boiling water, you put the little lid on it, you lock it down, pull it out, you let it cool at room temperature if you don't want to do the wax top. It ferments. It's fermented. Preserves, jams are really supposed to be fermented. The reason why they're not good for you is because they're not fermented. They're full of dextrose, corn syrup, polyunsaturated, all this different stuff. After yellow, red, this, that, all that stuff, which is carcinogenic. It messes up your DNA, your whole stratosphere your DNA, your nucleic acid, and all that stuff. It's your stratosphere. That's what makes you the universe you are. And the enemy knows how to destroy you. Is the reason why I'm reading this. I want to show you some pictures. Yeah, I'm going to fill out 1099A and a 1099C to disperse and to re-implement and to pay off based upon my goddamn the money, the $66,000 that was put against me in gold since I was a baby, illegally. That's because my mom was ignorant and my father wasn't. They don't mean crap. That don't illuminate nothing. When you're in the knowing, you know, based upon the knowledge you've accepted. I want to show y'all something. How many of y'all are aware of the 22 World Games opening ceremony? And I'm going to show you. I'm going to prove to you right now. Now, it could be, this is my opinion as far as picturesque information and what I've watched. I look at Little Boozy, I look at Rainwater, I look at Mo3, I look at what's the name from Chicago, the jeweler, I look at all these individuals. I look at that slime piece of shit born in 1969, Puffy. I look at all these wayward niggas. Let me tell you something. They get to meet people that look like them and other people who are not human, or at least like us. People had a hard time years ago when I tell them that we all, regardless of our hue, had a green tinge to us, just like when we come in this world like babies, which is becoming less and less common, but more pale now. Have y'all noticed babies are coming in this world in the last 60 years, 60, 70 years, babies have been coming into this world a lot more pale. And when they first come in though, they look green and dark. That's why the doctors are there. So that way you can't really see it unless you're allowed to see. And if it comes to the womb, the baby is damn near green. When it comes to into this world, the placenta sac is not supposed to be removed. That's why we lose that green tinge. Our blood we're not blue bloods. Maybe the enemy is. Maybe some of our human ancestors in other worlds are, depending on the acclimation of iodization, oxygenation, and everything else that is different. Because you got to remember, this world has been poisoned, in a form crippled, not to the point where it cannot return from it. How many of y'all were aware of what was going there? See, I know a lot of y'all didn't pay attention because I'm not watching the sports. I'm not watching the games. You know why I watch certain things? Because I need to see something. Like Anderson Silva fighting Jake Paul. He went down on a ghost punch that cleared his nose by this far. He had his foot placed right. And in boxing, we learn how to do this, to fall back, but not to literally fall, but to stagger or stumble back. And the drunk boxer, I don't want to say his name, he used to utilize that and then throw the straight jab in and then set up the, 2-2-3 and the 1-2-3-4 and all that, and the 1-2-3-3 and all that, whatever combinations, however you learned them. Anderson Silva showed you exactly what this fake fiat and knowing something else other than everybody else. When you get to a place where they say fame, you can be used on any level. I could be used. Well, I actually can't because I'm going to explain something else to you, and it's going to throw something. It's going to throw a wrench into you, into your thought process. But you can clear it as long as you breathe and remain calm. This right here, like you see in New York, down there where I sell drugs, just sliding them damn people on the trade center, you know, doing the stock market exchange. That's Baal. Baal, what does it illuminate? What does it mean? What was it taken for? See that right there? You know, that rose out of the ground. And at first they had all the countries that are performing and playing, right? But do you know what happened when they got done with that? When the ceremony commenced to the 27 with the crystals that fall from heaven? You see those 5 rings you call the Olympic, right? Those are aircraft, not our aircraft. All right? This is Baal. And see who's riding up on it? A dumb little negress. Why? Because people like this. Are you paying attention to the dynamics of the design? Dark silver is no longer mine, but you see this plainer one, which means empty. Are you aware of this? Look at this, and you think about Yi, right? But Yi was doing something different. Even though he's part of it, he is actually speaking out and giving you messages most niggas don't even pay attention to because they betray each other. We betray each other on the usual. This is the welcoming committee. Are you paying attention? All that up there looks like this spree way above that you can't see because lightning comes from the ground up, but from up top, it comes from the top down. And that's in the ionosphere that nothing can get near or through because it's coming from the waters. Are you aware of that? See that right there? What does that look like? We're part of so-called South America. The stairs and the temple. Let me get back to it. This is what happens. You know, I get to explain stuff, man. I get deep. Okay? Let me pull it up closer. Are you seeing that? What pyramid? Oh, let's go to the next one. Here it is. When all the flames are kicking off around the rooftop, it looks red like the spree. But what does it illuminate? It illuminates your death and how many people are willing and willing participants. But what did they see? What makes them part of this? Most of them do it in ignorance because if you're using the podium or pews or the stage in the audience, not in the stage, but in the audience, you would be awed by it. So you've already sacramented yourself to it without even knowing because the awe, something you're not used to seeing. What does the egg represent? The hot air balloon. What does it represent? That is where you saw all the countries, all the flags. Now it is inflamed. 3 layers. Babylon. What is it you don't get? See? And everybody's praising it. Baal is leaning forward. Now the flames are even more entrenched. What is it you do not perceive or your perception? There's ladies in England right now who were part of some of those sex rituals at the castle, who after Queen Elizabeth has been speaking out the fact that they're not human. Nobody wants to pay attention because you know what? I had a young sister, a sister, I don't know if she's younger or older than me, it doesn't matter. Age doesn't mean nothing in this time and age. Who says, I don't believe in religions. I says, and I had explained to her, you need to just listen to what's being said. You could dismiss whatever you need to dismiss, but get the message of this pimp preacher putting things out there because in every vernacular, you're going to hear something if you're actually in the knowing. Having the knowledge and then being able to have the knowing means that you can decipher things that are put out in front of you. There is nothing new under the sun. Why is that people think that's a catchphrase when it's actually real? It boggles my mind. It boggles my mind how many people know everything but don't know nothing. It really does. The substitute of having people, the majority of people ignorant, that means that if they're given a little gray or blue look at a job or work site to go by, even though they're going to pervert it, we know this in the medical field, very, very sternly, we know this. All right, what's going to happen? They're not going to illuminate. They're going to dismiss anything that's based on rationale right now. You know that Putin can't stand fascism? Are y'all aware that he can't stand fascism? He can't stand Stalinism and Marxism. Are y'all aware of that? Well, he's part of the game, but sometimes people step away. You've seen what happened to our brother Lincoln, right? They had a Jesuit go behind him with a 44 musket, Magnum, and blow his brains out. But you don't want to accept responsibility for the irrational behavior because it's lucrative to you, you believe. And yet all of you are in the murk and mire. You're all stumbling through the briar bush with no way of getting out, and it ain't but a foot away from you. You keep turning in circles, just getting stuck and stuck and stuck and stuck and stuck. I didn't do anything yesterday. I didn't read. I uploaded a couple of shorts. That was about it. And I didn't want to be all polyamorous. I didn't want to be all big and all this other stuff. I wanted you to be able to see it's a reality. That's all. It's up to you how you accept it, or whether you accept it, or if you want to accept it. So this morning's reading, I'm going to start off with Enoch, of course, because it is important for you to know that everything in front of you, they used to say everything ain't glitter and gold. Everything in front of you ain't always what it appears to be. Even in the subtlest form, it could be a little old lady walking with a walker. If she wanted to, she could stretch her neck 4 feet long, grab you from the corner you're standing on, and devour you. You're nothing but cannon fodder until you come into your knowing. You don't have to believe nothing I'm saying. I didn't lie about that little woman in Italy. All her eyes were no white, were dark black. I didn't lie to you about a certain individual we was communicating. Me and my boy from Chicago was communicating with. And the motherfucker's eyes closed sideways. I'm not lying to you. I don't know if that was a warning, if it was trying to see me, see if I was one. Now, the thing that was going to throw a wrench into you, not everybody that's coming here to protect, they have always been here. And the thing is, there are certain individuals born into this world who are necessarily somewhere in their family's bloodline are not from here. I don't think y'all get the thing they call Tinker Toy, or the clocks, the watch repairer, or the watch maker, the tinkering that goes along in things. See, if we knew all that, then the enemies would know it all too, right? So how many of us do you think are born here who actually aren't from here? Do y'all think it's a color process? Do you think what I'm reading is all based upon a pale skin? You have no clue. It has nothing to do with that. You need to understand the seriousness and the predicament that you're in. That's all I'm putting out there. Now, this is I'm talking from my standpoint. I'm not saying this is factual for you. I'm saying for you to allow yourself to come into another divinity or process of interpreting or recognizing different things. I know a lot of you will just dismiss, repudiate. You'll sit there and go, what a quack, and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. I embrace that. I don't say I love it. I embrace it because it's all right. It's supposed to happen. But not everybody born here is from here. And then not everybody who's not from here is not from here. Y'all don't understand. Time is very short. Very short. And y'all better get it together. So I'm going to start with Enoch. Turn this music down a little bit. There's a reason why I like listening to the Nordic music, but you wouldn't have a clue. So don't even worry. Don't even ponder your thoughts about it. So we're at chapter 10. Chapter 10. I said 10. Ooh, that's what I say that. Chapter 10. Then said the Most High. Remember, you don't have to acclimate. These are things to subjugate, to make one believe in one when it's all of you. The Most High, in high elevation, high places. It's you. You're above the soil. You don't get it. The Holy and Great One spake and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech and said to him, go to Noah and tell him, in my name, hide thyself. And do you know why he had to hide himself? Obviously, if he didn't, he would have been destroyed. And there's nothing the so-called bat creator could have done. That is nothing but a messenger. But that was another one speaking high, who was highly recognized, speaking. Oh, this is omnipotent. You better believe it. Beyond the scope of our understanding. Long separated and removed from, but who was definitely part of us. Go to Noah and tell him in my name. And you see, they don't never put the name there, but the name is there. They don't put it there. Hide thyself and reveal to him, because they must undo everything that was done as if they're going to succeed. Tell him the end that is approaching. Tell him and reveal to him the end that is approaching. That the whole earth will be destroyed and a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth. Now destroyed in a deluge. destroyed is a whole nother subjugation. That's why there was, and literally was, two beginnings. Come upon the whole earth and will destroy all that is on it. Now we know it's been destroyed with fire. We know the mudslides are an effect of the cooling after a flood. And the mudslide is everywhere. Great lands and great grand cities topple. All these idiots did to create a fake reset was come and build dams and destroy and blow up and burn some cities of ours to remove and displace us from who we are. And that's not that long ago, people. And do you think they had the knowledge to do that? No, they were led. And if you can't see that, then you'll never be able to understand the things that I'm sharing with you. And now instruct him that he may escape and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again, the Most High said to Raphael, bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dubai, and cast him therein, and place upon him rough and jagged rocks. When I told people to buy, the most of the Arabs are Sephardic Jews, nobody wanted to believe me. Because of Islam? Man, get that religion out my face. If they really believed that, they wouldn't be persecuting and murdering people. But you know what? That's neither here or there. Let's continue. And place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may not see light. They want to release him. And on the day of the great judgment, he shall be cast into the fire, and heal the earth, which the angels have corrupted. Now you remember there's two out there, mechanical and flesh. And I've read that, and I'm not going to read it again. And that's an infinity terra and a terra infinita. Isn't it funny how they coincide? And that all the children of men may not perish through all the secret things that the watchers have disclosed and have taught their sons. And the whole earth has been corrupted through the works that were taught by Azazel. To him ascribed all sin. Sin is unseen. And to Gabriel said the Most High, proceed against the bastards and the prophet and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of fornication and the children of the watchers from amongst men. And you know what the payback is? Margaret Singer. To murder the innocent. Why is it that y'all don't get the simple things? The simple things. Why is it that you can't perceive and conceptualize the simple things? Are you that reprobate? And the children of the watchers from amongst men, and cause them to go forth. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For length of days shall they not have. And no request that they, i.e. their fathers, make of these shall be granted upon their fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live an eternal life, and that each one of them will live 500 years. And the Most High said unto Michael, Michael we all call him, go bind Simjaza and his associates who have united themselves. Do you know that's why I told you to study about the Theosophical Society? Yet you refuse to. With women so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And what do you see now? Megan Thee Stallion. That's a male. She is telling you, my name is Megan a Stallion. A he, she. A she, he. What is wrong with y'all? I see these wayward Negroes in these liberal states. I don't want to fight and argue for that thing. Why? Well, just like Puff Diddy, born in 1969. And when he got a hold of old, you know who, being a crack dealer. You know he likes his drugs, right? Yeah, they had an affair. There's in one of the movies, I used to read Word Up magazine. He's got 3 transsexuals in there. Well, you think that's by chance? And even in some of his lyrics, have any of y'all ever sat down and looked at Biggie Small's lyrics and paid attention? Talks about sucking, and what's wrong with y'all? You let the beat, which we are so rational to because we are such harmonic people, but it's misinfluenced and misguided that you don't hear the words, and Andre 3000 proved that before stepping away from the stage. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth to the day of their judgment and of their consummation. Do you know what 70 generations is? Every year, there's 3 generations, whole generations born. Every century, excuse me, there's 3 generations born. Now, you take 3 generations, meaning 1 year, you capitulate that by multiplying it by the number 3 scores, right? And what do you get? How many before you get near or close to 70? And if we take away the 1 of the 345 days and go back to what it actually is, go back to the 5 seasons, all right, based upon different cycles, what do you come up with? It's not 365 days a year, it's 364. It is 13 months, 28 days. It is 5 seasons. Why is we always out of rotation? Why is it that we always have to have daylight savings times? Why is it that we have to have leap year and all this other nonsense that didn't exist until when? I bet you don't even know when, because you know what, the education system didn't make you look at it. They made you accept it. So you accept everything instead of paying attention to be astute and self, to be able to move forward. You know, there's certain women, I'm looking for a wonderful woman, but in doing that, I have to search and I have to check with each one. I believe I found it. But the thing is, everybody has a position, and there's importance why I must have this woman, because what comes from that is what's important. But see, right now, people are too ignorant to understand these things because they're culpable with the enemy's narrative. They push forth something, and I will not settle for anything. I have a lot of women out here. I will not. I can feel them. I can sense them. It aggravates me. Do you know what it's like to meet somebody and you're like, dude, and they're holding conversation because I'm polite, and I know what this gentleman thing is, and I believe in the rationale of being honorable. I know how to say, no, I'm not interested. And you know how many times I've done that? Over 125 times since I've been living here for the 3 years I've been here. 125 times, not interested. I've had somebody come and visit. I had to bust one, so that's what happened. She wants to come back. Well, you got a man. Stay your ass right there. I'll play with you, but stay your ass right there. I'm not doing that. So we're going to shut it down right there, and we're going to get into other readings. No, excuse me. I'm just allergic. The window's open. Okay, this is a world map by Johannes Reus. I believe I said this, but we're going to do it again. The universe. Check this out. Universaler Cognate Orbis Tabula, published in an edition of Ptolemy's Geographia in Rome in 1508. 1508 shows 4 islands around the North Pole to the one north of Greenland and its opposite across the pole are labeled Insula Deserta. The one north of Europe is that of the Hyperboreans, and the one north of America is labeled Aeronfe. He labels the waters within the 4 islands as the Mersignum and speaks of a violent whirlpool that sucks the incoming waters down into the earth. In addition, this map did not express that to y'all. No, I never seen it. I just know something. His map shows a ring of small, very mountainous islands around the 4 islands, which numerous islands, Reus says, are inhabited. Chet Van Duza, the mythic geography of the northern polar regions, if you want to look into that. Chet, as in Vietnam, Chet, C-H-E-T, Van Duzer, Van, D-U-Z-E-R, the mythic geography of the northern polar regions. This would seem to indicate that the book, and I'll show you a picture in a minute. This would seem to indicate, that the book written by Nicholas of Lynn was known as the map maker. Remember the story of the map maker? Okay. Also, it may have been known as at Rome. It is evident that the polar region was drawn more or less in accordance with some plan by Nicholas, which was combined with latter material. So we'll go ahead and show you what the map looked like. And I showed you the other day, Saturday. Okay. As you can see, America is to the left. I don't know if it's mirrored or not, but this would be so-called the fake Africa, they call it, and that's America. And the other continent you would be called Prussia, Georgia, Russia, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Which was combined with latter material. Around the magnetic rock immediately under the pole are 4 islands: Aronthe, Insula Deserta, and Hyperborea, Europa, and Insula Deserta. Outside of these islands are smaller and mountainous islands arranged in a semicircle, while the peninsula of Peloponnese, with this sounds almost Hawaiian or Polynesian, doesn't it? With its base resting upon Europe, pushes out into the Druidic arrangement of islands, bearing up what is intended to represent a church, with the legend Sakte Odofi, and we know what church is, it's not what it is. Organ was something that healed and cleansed our organs. That's why we created such machines for Tartaria by the handlers, the Anunnaki, who also betrayed us. Once we fought back, we rose up against them. Anywho, let's go on, push forward. With its base resting upon Europe, pushes out into the Druidic arrangement of islands, bearing up what is intended to represent a church, with the legend Sakte Odofe. Eastward of this peninsula is the Provincia Obscura, the province of obscurity, and the Mer Sugnum. Look it up. I'd like y'all to find out some words. Westward of Bergi Extrema, extreme. Look it up. Another peninsula enters the groups of islands, which is pierced by Planora de Berga at the extreme west. The Mer Sugnum, also fills the west. South of Greenland, which is Greenland, is Terra Nova, or Newfoundland. From the Mare Signum, the water flows northward through the 4 openings into the polar basin. The arrangement is curious, yet not wholly without resemblance to what is found in nature. For what is called the polar basin is fed by several vast streams pouring into it from the warm regions at the south. These streams also create countercurrents. Are y'all paying attention? Which flow southward, bearing enormous quantities of the heaviest ice. Benjamin Franklin de Costa, Inventio Fortunato, Arctic Exploration, with an account of Nicholas of Lynn, and that would be page 22. And here we'll have a look at Nova et Integra in Reverse Orbis Descripted. And this is 1531. Now I have downloaded these. I could have did a StreamYard where I could put these in, not on the phone, only on the laptop. This phone won't allow it, even with the pen. Being a Note 10, it will not allow it. Somebody says I can, I just don't feel like doing all the side poking and stuff while you're sitting here watching me, and then poop, and putting all the stuff up on it. I don't feel like it. And then you have the Recens et Integra Orbis Descriptio, 1531, and Universale, 1546. So the magnitude of things being changed, I want you to pay attention and look at this picture very closely, and you will see how the earth truly is. Regardless of the round curvature, you will see how the lands are still pretty much connected. They're connected. These were really unfounded, even though known by the map maker. They're connected, believe me. Typus orbit, Tipius orbis terrorm. I know it's supposed to be terrain, but anyway, but terrorm, 1570. I want you to look at this very closely. Does that look like a little piece of a little island right there? What they did was cut it. Are you paying attention? The whole, the center of ours existence, the wall. How were they able to get there to make a map? Pay attention, people. This is 1570. Swedish historian Olaus Magnus wrote about the magnetic mountain. I wish my boy Paul Osteen was watching. I love him. Brother, I served with in the military. That's my Nordic brother right there. And surrounding whirlpool in his 1555 work, Historia de Gentibus, set Tenturia Annibilis, that's it, a description of the northern people, stating it to be a well-known fact that ships in the north must be built with wooden pegs, as iron nails will be pulled out by the northern lodestone mountain. What is a lodestone? Remember? And that between Roest and Lofoten is so great an abyss, or rather Charybdis, that it suddenly swamps and swallows up in an instant those mariners who incautiously approach. Pieces of wreckage are very seldom thrown up again, and if they come to light, the hard material shows such signs of wear and chafing through being dashed against the rocks that it looks as if it were covered with rough wood. We're going to stop that there, and we're going to go into Terra Infinita. You're being told everything that's going to happen, but the ignorance subjugates us. Say us. To not see. Water's running in the sinks. Chapter 22, the giants of the Great Tartary who wanted to liberate humanity. The giant race joined the human race in the previous reset. They came from outside to free us from the vile custodial oppression. They believed it was the right time to unite and wait until some of the custodial masters returned. The Great Tartary, the one that was erased, listen to this again. The giant race joined the human race in the previous reset. They came from outside to free us from the vile custodial oppression. They believed it was the right time to unite and wait until some of the custodial masters returned. The Great Tartary, the one that was erased from its maps in history, was the perfect union of giants and humans. So the Anunnaki actually was the ones that betrayed us and taught us all this metal smithing and all that stuff. The great giants, Anakin. Now it's a different word. Were the ones that helped us build Tartary. I had to get that correct because I slipped up. That's what happens when you sleep for 3 or 4 hours every fucking night. My apologies. And I've said it so many times before. From its maps in history was the perfect union of giants and humans. And what did I say about Tartary? Being that they tore it all up in the early 19th or 20th century. 90% of the buildings in Russia, I think Russia, Cuba, and England have most of the ones incorporated. Here, there are very few, and it's hard to notice them because they've still been tearing them down. Have y'all been looking and paying attention to some of the buildings and some of how they're built? Have you really given a good look down there in Tahoe and Manhattan, or, when you go to the post office? If you think these idiots built those things, they probably went and destroyed some things and refurbished and changed and acclimated different materials. Why our roads were sandstone, red, why they were designed and put the way they were. That is why the past of the giants or the giant humans was hidden forever, or simply their history was manipulated with tales full of lies mixed with mythology, and in many ways they were sentenced as enemy of the gods, those who would destroy you. The truth is simple, and you will see it with your own eyes in the future. The only enemies of the gods and of breaking the free development of the races of uprooting and destroying the spiritual development, not only here in the known lands, but in many of the other lands, are without doubt the colonizers themselves. The enemy race that destroyed the dreams of the past and will destroy those of your future if you let them. And they are what Kanye was talking about. And so many others. Even Cat Williams told y'all's dumbasses. And he says, yeah, to find out by getting stung. But you don't know what that means. The giants only show their greatness by staying hidden so as not to generate more harm to the current human being. Since in the past everything has gone wrong, and for that you are paying a very high price. These lands that are the only ones you know for now have their oceans stained with ancestral blood, our blood that tried to change everything. That we're very close to achieve freedom forever. And there's a great war looming. Now they'd as soon as want to blow up and destroy. The next one will be the giants and custodians, the great war of the last reset. It's amazing, that story. Indicative of everything that you think you know. And I tell you, that's why it's so important to eradicate who you think you are and what you know. Because the things that you will see will be farther against the reality of the situation. If all you niggas walking around with an ankh tattooed on you and wearing around your neck, that means you're still a slave to those that seek to destroy. Stop wearing that shit, even though it's ours. It's ours, but provocation. It is literally not ours, and nothing you want to have a bargain or a partial of. Get rid of it. Go and get your skin burnt. Remove that shit from your presence. Stop it. And anybody that comes with it, know that they are your enemy for the time being. The all-seeing eye, like the creator would be sitting here peering when he already knows everything that's going to happen and unfold. They know everything that's going to happen and unfold. Probably 1 trillion times different ways. The custodians of time. The custodians of time are a covert, clandestine society, consisting only of elevated, knowledgeable men. They have sworn on everything they hold holy to protect time against anyone who might try to control or interfere with time. That's all they know. We must remove ourselves from time. We must not implicate ourselves in time. But this one's a little different. So the custodians have sworn to protect mankind's past. Ha! Yeah, the resets. It must be stated that just one stuttering shift in time, however minute, would have devastating consequences for the future of humanity. And the golden rule is that men must not travel to the future. What kind of hopscotch shit is that? Are you paying attention? That's why I say it's important to read. The information is spread all throughout the earth and in literature. And Malcolm X knew something. That's why they got a few goofy Goombas from Newark, New Jersey, the most betraying ass place on earth, like California, and murdered him. They not only protect man's past, but also constantly monitor the future. Monitor CCTV, your TV, the cell phones, force updates to further be able to even check your senses. In case any leaders aspire to create a time machine, the custodians have always considered that humans possess a mental capability which no other animal has, and except that some men have already mentally traveled through time. And when he says animals, that's what he considers all of us, but he sees us a little different. We have this convection with the source that is, I tell you, more powerful than you even know. If history ever appeared that it might be altered by the outcome of a quarrel with who? The all-seeing eye of the custodians would immediately be alerted. It must be stated that they would never tolerate any tampering with time. Man should never play God. How can we play what we already are? The senses, you must be desensitized, and your bearing must be unequivocally altered, changed, faltered. Regarding time and space, the ancient Egyptians knew much about this subject, but they lacked one element, illumination. Without a light source, time and space would be meaningless in this sense. Illumination is the converse of a black hole, for it can only be entered from its outer surface. In theory, white holes are plausible, but they can only appear within the external particles of a black hole. That's all I'm gonna read there. This is not the way I put it out, the way I break it down doesn't mean it's facts. It's for you to do the research, for you not to look out the window, for you to look inward, and for you to mitigate different things. And in doing so, allow yourself to conceptualize something different from what you have been dealing with on a regular. And allow yourself to be the light that emanates outward, instead of internal turmoil that dampens and darkens it. That little ember, how to explode. That tone, they're connected. We think with both of these. Gut feeling, you ever heard that saying again? Mitigated by what? A strong heart? Why do you think they attack the upper thoracic? Causes confusion. You can't breathe. You can't elevate. Worry and brokenness and stress. Cortisol levels go higher and everything else goes off rhythm, and the sparks and the thing is flying that could correct things. You don't know how to mitigate and control. And why is that? Because they have slowly been poisoning you. The water you drink from the sink, that is the same shit and piss water they recycle over and over and over with thousands of chemicals. When you can easily go out, special forces training. If you're out in the ocean, if you got a tube, I know we're not booty hole bandits, right? But you got to find a way to lube it, stick it up your anus, and you could drink and live for 30 days, 60 days on that water alone. That salty ass water being put into that's why I always tell people, carry a tube with you if you go out to the ocean. And if you got a vest, you can at least, even if your body starts wrinkling up and you look like some damn prickly cucumber, stick it up your ass. Take the water going, don't drink here, and it will hydrate you and keep you hydrated as long as you're out there. Facts. If you can push it out, you can put the tube in and you can save yourself by hydration. Water coming out that sink is the same water in the toilet. They're both one and the same. And they do this to keep you, even a lot of stuff being bottled water. And these bastards know it. Excuse me, these individuals know it. No name calling, no cursing. Ain't nobody say red. See? Even y'all don't say red. Watch your tongue. Well, it was fun. I enjoyed this. I will be back on later. Definitely with the open mic. It's supposed to be Monday, Wednesdays. And I was going to do Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays will be the open mic. And everybody can come in. You can give your little opinions. They are little. Remember that. Especially if they're argumentative, without no concert effect to alleviate. I always say when people take, you must have something to give back. If you don't know how to give back, that means you really don't have knowledge about what you're taking. All right? So if you don't have knowledge about what you're taking, you want to call yourself this and that, that's not illumination. That's not bright. In the term, when we ever say, boy, that boy, this ain't bright, it means his lights are off. No one should ever say that. Okay? And I want y'all to remember these things. I want y'all to remember these things. It's very important that you remember these things. There's only a select few that I actually reach out to and we share information. There's only a couple, really one, but maybe two, who I always illuminate certain books that I have. Even if I speak on it, others can speak on it. You know why? Because it takes what to raise a family? It takes a family to raise a child, but it takes a village, right? And a tribe, and then a clan. And here we are, and we're running around believing we're civilians and citizens. Civilians to who and citizens of what? Questionary things, my friends. Am I sitting now? My Dagonatini. All right? You know I love y'all. And y'all make sure the notification bell is on full. Make sure that you like this. Those likes beat the algorithm. And you share it. Share this. This will be the day, you know how we are. It'd be the last minute. Oh, they got rid of YouTube. I couldn't share that with people when you could have shared it right now. Stop being so flagrantly ignorant and just share it. Let other people decide for themselves. We don't decide nothing for nobody. All right? Let me get some shout outs and then I'll hit y'all later. Grand Elevations, Rondo. What's going on, beloved brother? William Robinson. Alito. Yes, you are president accounted for. Yes, sir. Chatahaya. What's happening? Sour is also a greeting. You know that, right? Quiet Storm. Someone taught them and showed them what and how to do. Of course. Very much so. West Side, Kulek. Alito. Ravel, what's up? I have to touch the screen to see you guys. Otherwise, because I know you're there, it doesn't show up. It only shows up when I touch the screen. Ravel, what's going on, beloved one? Yeah, she gets all that. It's not taken from y'all. I'm just saying Rock gets it all. We rise by lifting others. Yes, yes. Alito, Richard Lone Wolf. I want to give a big halloo, but we're going to chill, my brother. That's really my kinfolk. Original Comprehensive, what's going on, sis? I was waiting for your call. You never called. I was like, I don't just give my number out for nothing. You know, collabs are good. Love you all. Grand elevations, grand enlightenment. And may the truth be with everybody. Like they say, the force. Oh, you did? Okay, I'll check it. I know I sent my number back because that's how I reach out. West Side, everybody. I send my number to everybody and everybody calls. You know, I don't know what's going on. I hit up TRU HERU. Y'all check out TRU HERU's music. That brother can sing. That brother can sing. And we got other ones on here. There's a brother's got a book out, Mackin. Check it out. Check out Don't Call My Dummy No Dummy. Get with all the people that's in there. Check out everybody's information so we can all be informed. See, they won, per se, by dividing. Have they conquered? We say that word in words of spells. You need to stop saying that stuff. Like I need to stop saying divided, for obviously we're not. We have been estranged. We have been stretched. We have been a little manipulated. And there are those who have bought into because they've got to see some things that they cannot tolerate, or maybe they partook of something. And when they saw it, they saw that they were still alive the next day, and they openly welcomed it, not knowing the impeding the danger of what's really going to happen. Anybody, if you haven't seen the 2022 the World Games opening, I would advise you to have a gander at this whole ceremony. Do not be emotionally attached and allow your feelings to override your emotions. Watch it for a lesson of learning. Okay? As above, as below. See, as above, so below, and what does so allude to? Etymology, people. It's like a redirection. It means somebody else's narrative. Kind of, sort of, maybe, possibly. As is. So when you say as above, as below, it is. We must ordain that reality and truth. Because they want to keep you grounded when we're supposed to elevate to the highest plateau and the highest of thought, the highest of consorts, the highest, to not be provocated or provoked. All these other words I love because they allude to the same thing. You don't want to be a provocateur. You don't want to be out there provoking, so you don't want to be provoked. Okay? And let me tell you something else. If you really are studying other languages, you're going to get to a point that when you're communicating, those languages are going to be there, and it's an internal fight to get to the point where you finally understand or can speak the language and not confuse. Because when you know that 5 different languages, words that sound different from the one now you recognize as those words, they will easily come up. You know what I mean? It's just, I can't explain it no more than that. If you do it, you'll find out. And I would advise you to learn some languages now. I would advise you to learn, is it Cantonese? Yeah, they don't speak Mandarin no more. That's our ancestral languages. Cantonese, Spanish equivalently, Slavic, Celtic, the Netherlands speak a different form, like the Dutch, okay? Like my great-great-great-grandmas and pa's mother and father. Well, Cherokee, there's Rokeroa and Dutchlands. So, learn these languages. When I tell you it's important, no, I cannot express the extremity how important it is. With that being said, I appreciate everybody dropping in. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all later. Open mic. I did this a little early, so I believe it'll be around 3, 4 my time, which is about 2 hours if you're on Ohio's different time, and 3 hours if you're East Coast. So 4 would be 7, or it could be 6, depending where you're at. On that imaginary line that separates 80% of the population from 20%. I'm on the side of 20% of our population. Y'all, a lot of y'all are on the 80% side. I wish y'all come over here and bring a balance back to our lands, the known world. Stop being slothful and lazy. I have so much, sell it. They probably plan on destroying it all anyway. Then what you gonna do? Cry with material things? This is where I'm attempting to get you to me beyond that. And everything could change like that. All right? Now I know I'm not the only one speaking this way. I'm just probably the only one you've seen. Yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. Tear that motherfucker up with my fingers and words. I got a feeling of this 1099A. Perfect. If you get up there with my mic, my speakers, me and you about to tap dance. What you doing, Papa? What's up, Papa? This is Alexander. This is my little man. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Yes, I love you. It's Alexander, but ain't no Hannibal here to betray him. One day maybe y'all get to meet him. He's pretty fun. He's pretty playful. Yeah, he's got a little of my energy in him, and I got a little bit of his. Wolves run with cats. Don't get it twisted. Y'all have a grand day.